मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यस्त अध्यात्म चेतसः. It really puts a question: what is better? The shloka is better, or Gurudeva's commentary is better? Two extremely powerful things are very difficult to compare. Bhagwan in the form of Guru has given a shloka through Bhagavad Gita. But the disciple Gurudeva has turned the story in such a beautiful manner by giving an explanation which is so easy to comprehend, but so difficult to see the loftiness that it has in it. Mai sarvani karmani, all my actions, all actions in me. See, all actions done through me is a different thing. Each word is important. Mai sarvani karmani, all actions in me. Ideally, the word should have been by me. The by me is not a problem. In me is the problem. Mai sarvani karmani. The reason being, the karmas have their origin in me. The karma is not thirst upon me. It is self-created thing by me. The very fact that I'm performing karma is because of me doing something in the past as the vipaka of that karma, karma phala vipaka, I have been given this body. Had the reason for the karma been not there, I wouldn't have been here. There would have been no karma, and there would have been no need of Bhagavad Gita also. So in a hurried way, instead of saying the karma is done by you, the karmas in you, mai karmani sarvani karmani. Now that you have already created the karma phala vipaka, because of which you are now expected to perform certain actions, and mind well, we always perform action thinking that some result will come. The action itself is the result of past karma. We blame what we are doing for what is happening. What is being done is what has happened. It is the klesha of the past, karmashaya of the past that has resulted into the purgation of vasanas or desires, leading to formation of this birth. So far it is understood that the karma has originated in me, operated through me, operationally made possible through the body. So the body is nothing else but an accessory put on my mind as an accessory and fitted with an accessory when I'm sent and thrown into this world for the work that I did earlier, action that I did earlier in my past life. Sanyasta adhyatma chetasaha. By renouncing, while the mind is centered on the self, two aspects are there. One is to renounce. Now, where is to be renounced? Gurudeva says, renounce it in Vasudeva. My problem is, I don't know Vasudeva. I have decided Saturday morning, 7 o'clock is my Shubha Muhurta of giving all my karmas to Lord. Why? Because the Gita is telling me, Sanyasta, Sanyasta, Samni Asa, Nikshepta. Give everything to the Lord. The karma is to be given to the Lord. All right, but where is the address? I don't know Vasudeva. I have not seen him. I don't know which corner he stays, so that I can take my bunch of karmas and leave it to him and say that, okay, Lord, I have given it to you, and now I have done exactly what the Gita Mata has said. The problem is Vasudeva is not known to me. So how do I do the sannyasta part of it? For the sannyasta part of it, the technique given is Adhyatma Chetasaha. What is Adhyatma Chetasaha? Mind centered on self. So one thing is definitely certain, that mind is not centered on the self at the moment. Agreed, it is not centered on the self at the moment. Bhagavad Gita tells me to center it on the self. Self also I don't know where it is. To keep the karma at the Lord's feet, I don't know where are Lord's feet. How do I proceed? The logical opposite aspect of the same argument is, if my mind is not in the self, then where it is? It is everywhere which is non-self. And all the non-self is known to me. My wife, my child, my job, my clothes, my face, my car, everything is non-self. That is where my mind is. And Bhagavad Gita tells me, put it on the self. That means I may not be knowing the self, but I know what is non-self. So I have to take it away from the non-self. So put it in the self means remove it from the non-self. From anatma to atma. Anatma is known to me. So I will start from the known side, then I will reach the unknown side. When? That is by Shraddha. So how do I do? I have come to a wrong marketplace for selling the wrong goods. So where is my right market and right goods? I don't know, but at least I know what is wrong market and wrong goods. Then what? Wind up the shop and leave the market. Undo the wrong thing. Right will automatically dawn. If we say a statement, I am not doing anything wrong, it automatically means I am doing something right. So in order to have this Adhyatma Chetasa, the Antakarana, should not be in that which is not Adhyatma, non-self. And the Guru Varyas, the Rishis and Saints tell me that everything around is Anatma. So my technique would be that whatever karmas are done are because of me. Lord has nothing to do with it. So stop blaming the Lord for every second statement, saying that, pata nahi Bhagwan ke man mein kya hai, why is he doing this? I've been so honest, but the Lord has no mercy upon me. Lord is neither having mercy. What kind of Lord he is? Lord, please help me. It is like saying a small child sometimes urinates in his own short and asks the father, Father, who urinated in my short? It is you, because it is your underwear. Similarly, it is your own karma. The Lord has nothing to do with you. So, mai karmani, it is your karmas, all the karmas, in case you are inclined to do something better. And if you are a student of Bhagavad Gita, not intellectually, but by heart, then you shall do one thing, sannyasta, give it up, leave it somewhere. Where? To the Vasudeva, whom I don't know. How do I do that? By doing Adhyatma Chetasa, meaning undoing everything that what I have been doing so far. All my karmas, if I just take the count of it, they are meant for somebody by me. When the karmas will be meant for the work, not for anybody, and it will be for others, not me, it will automatically become Adhyatma Chetasa. Nirashi Nirmamo. Nirashi, hopeless. We are so used to the hope that we always say, Ummid pe duniya kayam hai. If you don't have hope, how do you work then? Because hope gives me enthusiasm. I will buy this particular villa because the price is very low and the hope is that the price will go up. Now, suppose you have to buy a villa and you say that, I don't know what is going to happen to the price. Will you buy it? You will not buy it because there is no hope. I am studying Bhagavad Gita with the hope that, I will get one day mumuksha mukti. But if somebody says, read Bhagavad Gita, I don't know whether you will get it or not, but read it, you'll say, well, what is the point? If somebody says that, please, I'm giving you a new job, please join it, and join it and work. Immediately we say, what will I get as remuneration? So you will get this much. What is there any increment policy? And do they give bonus also? Hope. So if there is no hope, how can you work? The difference is karya karana sambandham and hope. These are two different things. Take a weird example. There is a hot burning charcoal. I put my fingers on it and I said, I hope I will not get the burning. Will that happen? The hope will not work there. Why? Because the burning charcoal Agni will have the heat as its effect. So every karma has an effect, phalam. That phalam is inherently there. You work for somebody, you will be paid. It is inherently built in there. Then what is the difference between that phalam and the hope? You put the seed in your garden. The seed will sprout because it is the parinam. Karana karya sambandham is there because there is a karana called seed. There will be a tree as a karya, and there will be fruits also as trees karya. So there's nothing wrong in expecting that to happen because that is a legitimate, related in Lord's universe, cosmos. These things are automatically as karya and karana related to each other. The hope is when we want a karyam to take a particular shape, then it becomes hope. You got married, you got a child. Sambandham, karya karanam. No problem. I wanted a baby boy. You want to shape the karya. That is hope. There's a subtle difference between hope and inbuilt karya karana sambandham. I ate food, but I'm hoping that I should not be satisfied. It will not happen. The food will quench the hunger and the water will quench the thirst. The food will satiate the hunger. The water will quench the thirst is inbuilt. So when inbuilt karya shape is not altered, it is a natural thing, natural corollary. Having a desire to change the shape of the outcome is the hope. I helped somebody and he cheated me. I hoped he should not cheat me. No, normally when you help, the person is supposed to be acknowledging it, but somebody, why this happened? Because of my past karma. Even if I want to shape it the way I want the outcome to be shaped, it will not be. That is what nirashi. And that is why when that attitude of nirasha comes, nirasha normally is a very negative word in our connotation, but it's a very positive word in spirituality. Santa Shrestha Tukaram Maharaj, he was invited by Shivaji Maharaj. He said, please come. Shivaji Maharaj was a Shiva Bhakta, a devotee of lots of saints, Samartha Ramadas, Santa Tukaram. He used to invariably go and attend kirtanas of Santa Tukaram. So he sent a message to Santa Tukaram saying that, Maharaj, please, I want you to be in the palace so that I can touch your feet. And what is the answer given by Tukaram Maharaj? He says, तुझी भेट घेणे काय हे मागणे आशेचे शून्य केले आम्ही निराशेचा गाव दिधला आम्हासी प्रवृत्ती भागासी सांडियले. Hey Lord, hey King, you are asking me to come and visit you. But what is this demand that you are doing? Because I have already made a big zero of Asha. Because Lord has given me a village as a gift. The name of that village is Nirasha. That is because Pravrutti Bhagasi Sandiyele. I have abandoned the Pravrutti. Abandoning Pravrutti is abandoning hope and asking Lord to give Nirasha. Nirashi, Nirmamo. Nirmamo is the further difficult part of it. Nirmamo, not mine. The biggest problem is, if I am not there in the action, where will be the enthusiasm? I transformed a company as a CEO and made it profitable. My world doesn't end there. I immediately want to tell people, and people should come and say, wow, what a CEO you are. How beautiful you are. What intellect you have. You had the strategies and your grip on management was so good, etc. Feels like lighter. As if a peacock feather is being flown over the body. Stutihi kasyamna priyat. Praise, flattery, bards all around. And we always create them. Whom do we call a friend? A friend is one who comes and says, oh, you're so great. And I really admire, you something what you decide feels so good. Because there is so much ego into it. And that ego has hardened my attitude. So if I am not there, then who will be ambitious? Because low aim is crime. That is what the modern language says. Upwardly mobile. And Gita Mata is telling Nirmamo. So does that mean that tomorrow I have been given a promotion to lead 3 different countries instead of 1? Should I say, Nirmamo, I don't want it? No. The 3 countries charge is coming to you because of your past karma. Take it. If you get Srikhandam in front of you and you say that, I don't think we should get involved into such mundane things. No, it has come in front of you. No harm. Then what is the difference? When the Srikhandam is not there, then I feel the pinch of not having it. That is the problem. A Nirmamo is, except the human being, no one ever takes credit of whatever happening in this universe. Has the bee or the wasp, have they come to us and told me that, look, I pollinated so many flowers in this jungle and give me something? No. Does a tree come and asks you that so much fruit I give you, you ate it, you sold it in the market and made so much money, give me some, at least 5% of it? No. Because tree, although the Antakran Vikas is not there, it becomes an example for us simply because Lord has asked the tree to do that and it does it to the T. The only animal who does not do or obey the Lord's order in this universe is the human being. Swami Vivekananda used to work so hard that in his later life, in 1901 July, there was a festival happening and he was, Ramakrishna's Punyatithi was, the Janmadin was there, and in that Jayanti, a lot of people had come. He was completely broken down inside with 21 diseases. The body was not at all helping him. He never had sleep and he was still working. He was still teaching. On a day before his death, he taught for 3 hours Vyakaranam, Sanskrit Vyakaranam to the monks. So one of the Sharat Chandra Chakravarti asked him, Maharaj, why are you so much working now? So much, at least have some rest. And the answer given was, the day my Guru, Ramakrishna Paramahansa Thakurji, showed me the Kali, The Kali has entered in this body, so I can't sleep, I can't rest, because God doesn't rest. A small wink by God and it will be topsy-turvy everywhere. This is precisely what Gurudeva said, the most efficient instrument for the expression of divine will. And people or gurus of Gurudeva's stature don't speak about themselves yet. You have to catch the small points sometimes coming from their mouths. And I happened to read about Gurudeva's incidents in Hong Kong. When he was in Hong Kong, after a lot of persuasion, one of the people around, they insisted on knowing Gurudeva. Gurudeva, are you not God? Gurudeva just laughed it off. But then persistence was there. And at the last, he said, maybe this body was found fit by the Lord, so he must have decided to use it. That is the answer, because Gurudeva is God. The instrument, and his words today again reminded me, because he used the word again, instrument. The most efficient instrument for the expression of divine will is this body. Shrunvanto amrutasya putraha. Then you become amrutasya putra. Otherwise, we are filth putra, full of kama vasanas and other things. Stink of selfishness, as Gurudeva calls it. Gurudeva has given sweeping attacks on this shloka with one after other scintillating remarks. Angla Vidya Acharya he is. Action gives rise to bondage only when it is performed with a heart laden with selfish desires. Action performed without desires are not actions at all, in as much as they are incapable of producing any painful reaction. Painful reaction is klesha. With this one statement, Swamiji has swept Patanjali Yoga Shastra into it. If I am the instrument, there is no karma. If I am the instrument mover, it is karma. Gurudev gives two things. We renounce thus all wrong actions, making few adjustments in our instruments in order to enable unobstructed flow of Creator's will through us. The river is flowing from there. The Ganga is coming from Shiva's head. Who are you to put a boulder on its part? You will be swept away. So are we. Kabir Maharaj says, this body, you want to know what it is? He explains it beautifully. He says, Ye tana that tambureka. Oh, this is not my body. It is a tanpura, tambura. It is a veena. Whose veena? Ye tana that tambureka. Rachata tar marodata khunti nikasata raga hazureka. The Lord has given this instrument, it is called veena, and it is supposed to be always in a melodious tune, which has gone out of tune. Hopelessness, free from hope, is what we want. But we are hopelessly hopeful. That is the problem. Free from hope. Ashanam manushyanam kachit ascharya shrunkhalam mukta tishtati panguvat baddhayaya pradhavanti. Ego has been defined by Gurudeva. One after the other statements, lightnings are coming. Ego is there for the shadow of the past, and it has an existent reality only with reference to the dead moments of the past. Ego is when you think you are separate from the God. One Sufi nicely puts it, मैं ख्याल हूं किसी और का, मुझे सोचता कोई और है. मैं ख्याल हूं किसी और का, मुझे सोचता कोई और है. सरे आईना मेरा अक्स है, पसे आईना कोई और है. If hope is the child of unborn future, ego is the lingering memory of dead past. What English? the active dynamic present, which is the only noble chance. So the past is to be completely buried. Past has buried itself. We excavate, do not exhume the bodies of the past. Nanu shocchanti pandidaha, gatam na shoccham. The active dynamic present, which is the only noble chance, Gurudeva is giving absolutely through the trumpet. The sound should come. Sunta nahi dil ki khabar, anhad ka baja bajata. This is anhad ka baja. Gurudev is on the piano, the dhuns, the symphony is coming. What he says, active dynamic present, which is the only noble chance that is given us to create, advance, achieve, and enjoy. Look at the beauty of Gurudeva. What is he talking about? 4 things. He's talking about Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Prema Shakti. But instead of making it complicated, he says create, advance, achieve, and enjoy. Create what? Whatever Sattva Guna wants. Advance where? Towards the God. Achieve what? Self. And then what will happen? You will be full of prema to enjoy. That is called Alladini Shakti of Ishvara. But even we have a problem that we think of future, we have a problem that we think of past, and we have a problem in present also, which is nothing else but unnecessarily over anxious during our present activities. There is a jester character in Middle East in ancient times. His name was Mullah Nasruddin. He's like a Vidushak. Once Mullah Nasruddin was found putting some plaster on his leg. So people asked him, what happened? Did you had a fall? He said, no. I'm putting the plaster because I'll be having a fall maybe in a day or 2. So everybody laughed. Everybody said, Mullah, are you mad? You are not yet, you don't have a fall. You have not fractured your leg. Why are you plastering it now? You say you will have it later? He says, if you all can think of future so much, I must also think of my future. This is what our situation is. And that is the reason anxiety less, working in present, forgetting the past, not thinking about the future is the key. And if you look at our work, not one aspect of this is true. Because every time when you meet with other friends, you talk of your past. And when you're alone and talking to yourself, you think of future. So with friends, we are in the past, and friends meaning the family also. With yourself, you are in the future. So who is in the present? I don't know. Because when I drive, I'm thinking of office. When I'm in office, I think of home. When I'm in home, I think of office. And I'm habituated to this thinking. So I have consciously, carefully, calculatively, I'm destroying my present. So Kriyaman is getting destroyed. And 90% of my thinking was on going on something where I have no role to play. And we say that. I don't know how Trump is taking decisions like this. Trump doesn't know my name also. Why will he take my opinion? Modi ji should have actually, COVID, how at a national level, who are you at a national level? Your own COVID you cannot control. Why are you getting into those things? You know what, these days children don't have a proper education. Everybody should be so advanced. We have thousands of Gyanachand and thousands of Rayachand everywhere. That is the biggest problem. If we avoid that and behave in what manner? 31st shloka tells us that. Which manner? Ye matam idam. That means what? What you think immaterial. Your opinion, matam doesn't matter. Whose matam matters? May. Ye, may, this mine. Mine means Vasudeva's opinion matters. Why? This is Vasudeva's world. In the kingdom of Vasudeva, king being Vasudeva, Vasudeva's writ will be large, not yours. Your opinion, your home members also don't listen to. What to talk about you being listened by others. So keep all your opinions aside. I think is the biggest disease we have. According to me is further bigger disease. According to Lord is a cure. Ye matam, ye me matam idam nityam anutishtat. Two aspects are there. Again, Sanskrit. Nityam and anutishtat. Nityam, when you said, what is the, sir, what is the point in having anutishtata? Anutishtata? Because I know that truth always wins and truth should be always spoken. So that is already known to me, nityam. But does it anutishtata? No. Immediately we lie. That means knowing and practicing. Nityam and anutishtata. Nityam is called savadha, alert. Anutishtata, daksha. Implication. At the time when the implementation comes, remembering what is to be remembered is dakshata, that is anutishtata. Savadha or daksha use tatkal moksha. Nityam anutishtata. Shraddhavanto anasuyanto muchyante te api karmabhihi. In order to get out of the snares, the pasha of karma, Shraddhavanta anasuyanta, two aspects are there. Shraddhavanta because I still don't know whether I'll be free from karma, but somebody is telling me to behave this manner. So what if all those doubting Thomases, in spirituality, a lot of doubting Thomases are there. To them it is said, have some Shraddha. And Guru Deva has come out with what is called as a poetic exposition of faith and crystal clear Vedantic definition. Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhya Avadharanaya Sa Shraddha Katita Sadvireya Vastu Upalabhate. Vastu is moksha, Bhauma, Brahman. But faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. It feels. So first is bhava. You should have a bhava for the Vasudeva. Then you will feel him first. Then you will sing for him. In the hope that what will come? The dawn will come. Is it there right now? Not. But it is going to come. So first is the bird knows that it is dark. So we must know that we are in tamas or gunas. Yet we will try for what? The gunas will end sometime and the dawn will come. But before that, I must have the feel in the heart that it will come. Feel for the Lord, bhava, that is called faith or shraddha. And if that is there, and in addition to this, sometimes you are getting failures on the way while reaching to the top spot. You may start doubting. And that is why some stupidest of the stupid people say that, I think, Krishna had been very diplomatic guy. I don't know, he like a god, he's not a good god. Sometimes, you see Jayadratha, how he cheated him. When he cheats, it is all okay. This is anasuyante, cavilling. All those people go to Balaji's Mandir, Tirupati, and Tirumala, and so much. I don't like it. Cavilling. You don't want to do it, don't do it. But anasuyante, because the enlightened people have given the path, you have no right. In fact, it is a ghor aparadha. You will be surprised that in Vishnu Purana Rahasya, to have food in the house where Krishna's puja is not done is a sin. If that is the case, then faith in Vedanta means ability to digest mentally and comprehend intellectually, which takes time. So in the meantime, do not cavil, do not anasuyante, don't criticize. So that is how in 2 shlokas, Gurudeva has given beautiful commentary, but there is so much for us to use it for practical implications, that this itself can be a foundation stone for our sadhana. Hari Om.